Good morning. Welcome back to Perkins Acres YouTube channel. Gonna be a pretty nice day for us. About 50 today. I think it's February 19th, mid-February. Got the day off from work, President's Day. So, might not love our president, but I'll take a day off. Well, the afternoon brings me to the sawmill. It's our Harbor Freight mill. Did some upgrades to it. 22 feet of track. We set it on 6x6s and then used washers underneath the screws and bolted it to the 6x6s after we used a laser to get them all level. Made a 4-post conversion. Took most of the shake out of it. Works pretty good. Gives you a little different options if you're pushing on this side, pushing on the other side, but works real good. Use the same throttle. Just moved it up here. The only thing I need to figure out, actually, which I have, is a yardstick I'm going to use as the blade guide. Not blade guide, but like the measurement so you know how thick you're cutting. Probably run back up to the house, grab that. We also upgraded to ball bearing blade guides, top, bottom. I think the back one came with it, but they were plastic blocks before, and seems to really help keep the blade nice and straight. Real happy with that upgrade. Pretty easy. There was a Facebook group I'm on that pretty much broke down everything I needed, so it worked out. Got some nice planks here. Got some live edge stuff there. 1x stuff siding boards, and this is the pile I'm working on for the overhang. 2x4s, 2x6s, 2x8s, and 6x6s post. That's cut with a Harbor Freight mill. Not too bad. A little wavy. Like this side's got a couple more waves in it. But we said rough sawn. Basically, you know, free lumber for us. We had that pile of logs trucked in last year. I think it was 400 bucks in trucking, 2 loads. Not all of it's perfect, but I got the logs for free, so pretty much a no-brainer. This thing's paid for itself already with 2 buildings that we built. My boiler shed, cow barn. Said today we're gonna work on the wood for the overhang and see what we get into. He said first thing I'm gonna do is go grab that yardstick I bought. Got to mount it here somewhere. And once you set 0, you move this to 0. Then as you crank the handle, unlock these. As you crank the handle up and down, that moves, so you'll be able to know if you're 1 inch thick, 2 inches thick, whatever your desired thickness is. But definitely makes it quicker than having to use a tape measure all the time. Well, that's what I came up with. Kind of half-assed, but it should work. This piece of wood here, and go something like that, and then the guide will be there, and hopefully I'll be able to see what I'm doing. So, kind of primitive, you know, a little rough, but once I know I like it, it will make it a little bit more permanent. That on the side now. Watch that thing go up and down. Boom. Perfect. So it's a little rough, but make sure it works good. Then I'll make it out of metal probably. Make it more of a long-term thing. But I gotta grab the Ford tractor, grab the grapple bucket, grab a log, and we'll get to sawing. First thing we do before we get the log on, put these stops on so when the log rolls on, it goes to here. You gotta watch those when your blade comes through. Make sure you don't nick them because you have a shitty blade pretty quick. Kids out on the four-wheeler. Calvin! A little cold start action on the Ford. Not a very good cold start though. It's almost 60 out. Everybody probably does it differently, but I like to put my small side closest to the saw head, so then I know, if you start on the big side and you put your blade into it, by the time you get halfway through, usually you're not cutting anything because you come out of it. So the butt of the log's always bigger. If I start on the small end, it saves me a couple cuts. Roll it tight. Grab the log block here. Throw that in. Tighten that up, and now you're good to start sawing. I'm gonna make this one just post, probably get one post out of it, maybe a couple boards, but pretty knotty, so it's not gonna cut very well. It's gonna cut kind of rough, but we will fire this thing up and make a cut. I'm a big fan of the Harbor Freight engines. Can't seem to really beat them price wise. Hard to beat that first pull. The water tank leaks a little bit. Oh, I keep it down. I'm going to use it. Fits up there real nice. Blade gripping. Now, gonna turn the log, get to the next flat side. One project I'd like to do is make these something a little better there. Maybe put 2 of them on. I think it'd help a lot, but works for now. So get this wood, this lean-to built, and maybe we'll make some modifications. Starting to look like something. It's going to be a nice stick of wood now. But you always got to be aware where these babies are. You know, it doesn't look like you're that close when you start into them, but then they get close pretty quick. Feels pretty good. Probably a little wave right here, but rough's on. Can't bait it. Not bad. It'll work. A couple more flips and we'll have us a beam. Got it marked right there at 7. I'm gonna head in right there and 1 inch lower should get me to the top of that 6-inch mark right here, and I should have a 6-inch on the bottom, 1 inch there. Like I said, I'll be able to set this at 0 now, or 1 inch, doesn't matter. Right there, go somewhere you can see nice and easy, right there, and then I'll be able to just crank down 1 inch. We'll take that top off. All right, and set on 4. Perfect. Right out of it. So I'm looking for a 6x6 post, and we'll get whatever else we can out of it, obviously. That's basically what I need. There's 2 ways we can do it. You can bring the saw head over, set your blade on, zero it out on the yardstick, and you can go down, you know, 6 inches, make that cut, and you see what's left. I like to measure from the bottom up, so then when I make my final cut, I don't have a piece that's 3/4 thick or 1.5 inches, something that's not really usable unless you cut it again. So we're left with 10 inches here. So we will take, I'll do 2x6s, and I'll take 2 2x6s off of it, and we'll have the 6-inch post when we're done. Yeah. So I'll bring this up here, zero it, then go down 2 inches, make my first cut, down another 2, make my second cut, and then we'll have the 2 2x6s and the 6x6 we need out of this log. We are working on, we're at 17 minutes of video recording. Just give you an idea how long it's taken me to get to this point, but you got to factor in moving around the camera, sticking around with that. So doing a little better than that, but probably if I wasn't filming a 15-minute log and end up with 1 by 12, a 6x6, and 2 2x6s, and then 4 pieces of firewood for another day. So not much waste and not much time really when you think about what a 6x6 12-foot long costs. So finish sawing this out. Well, that's the use and operation of our Harbor Freight mill. Couple things I'd like to do. So just fix this dog tightener thing, add 2 of them, make it better, and then maybe a sliding blade guide, because I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but there's a little whoopty right here, right where you get into a knot. It comes back out of it, but it pushes out to get around that knot because it's harder, and you know, then you get a little wavy on the board side. But this side, perfect. This side, a little wave. So like I said, I don't know if the blade guide slid over, if it was closer to the beam, if it wouldn't have done that, but definitely something I'm going to look into. So if you guys have made that change to your blade guide or any other things that I haven't done, leave them in the comments, drop a video, and tell me what you think. Any questions, I'll try to answer what I can about it. And hey, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe. We got all kinds of different projects going on the farm. And thanks for watching.